Hello, welcome to the team show here on the Blue Roar YouTube channel. Ahead of round 18 against the Western Bulldogs. It's Thursday, the 11th of July, 2024. Started a little bit earlier tonight. Just thought we'll spend a little bit more time with each other before the teams drop at 6:20. I've got some things I want us to watch, got some games that we can play, but more importantly, just want to hang out, see how we're all doing. So, who's here? Who's not here? Uh, I can hear this stream in the other room. One sec. Hi, I'm back. Oh. Jimmy, I saw you were here earlier. 909 Two Dogs. Do people think we'll bounce back hard or just win? Man, we're gonna unpack it all. There's quite a bit to get through. Chills, hello to you, mate. Stephen, Jesselli, hello. Zonked Steel, Julie, hello, Julie. Frankie says, Sax, good to see you, mate. Aiden, hello. Naomi, Slobbo. My pleasure, Slobbo. It was my favorite article of all time. That was our high school days. Cooper Gretsch, hello, mate. Good to see you. Eleanor, hello. Hunter, Jared, good to see you, mate. Guys, we are brought to you by Mr. Cabinets. Very proud sponsors of the team show. Derek will likely be in the chat maybe a little later. But thank you very much to Mr. Cabinets. If you have anything that you want to do in your kitchen, renovations, Mr. Cabinets is there for you. Very big Carlton supporter as well. We're building out a nice network of Carlton-based or Carlton-supporting sponsors. And so we look forward to having Derek on board for a long time. Two Dogs, hello. David's here. Debbie's here. Good to see you the other day as well. Oh, yeah. Can we touch on the other day for a minute? Debbie, I know, was at the club just before they announced that they were cancelling open training. For those of you who weren't there, you kind of got lucky. I got there very early. I was chatting with Lockie Cowan, obviously. So I filmed that. It was like 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. So when I got to the club, there was nobody there. I was did the filming, barely anyone. I think, yeah. Then I was sat in the corner. You know where the cafe is, in like the corner where the gym is, in the far back corner, and it was just me sitting on my lonesome. And then before you know it, training got cancelled, and then there was just an influx of people in the Carlton cafe. It was like a sardine can. It was unbelievable. It was rubbish everywhere. People buying things from the cafe. Oh my God, mayhem. But I'm glad that eventually they did a signing session. I left. I'm glad that people got to see some of the boys in the end. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Giselle. Oh, Naomi, you got your new BAT. Great. I'm glad. Check this out. Firstly, let me just share the link. The link to the BA shop is in the live chat. It's pinned to the top. But if you're watching this on Facebook, you might not see it. So the link's there. This is easily my favorite item. So it's for your iPod and iPods Pro. It's a case. I don't know if you can see. There's a little hole here, and you can see like the light. But yeah, custom. Comes with a little, I don't know if you're into this. If you want to like hook it to your keys or hook it to your person. There it is right there. So if you go to the BA shop, we've got these. We've got all sorts of items, key rings, T-shirts, hoodies, ping pong balls, iPhone covers for the 15 and the 14 range. So yeah, get around it. I'll get your orders. They'll come through here, and I can read your name out as well. So, but yeah, Naomi, I'm glad that you got your T-shirt. Got to meet Brad Lloyd and talk to him also. Took a pic with Vossi. Love that, Aiden. Sonia, you saw me in Armadale. Interesting. Okay. Wait, was that? No, I saw somebody on Chapel Street recently. I forgot her name. She was wearing this really cool Carlton beanie with like the gold logo. We're talking about when you see someone in the street or anywhere in public and they're wearing Carlton gear, do you automatically say "Go Blues" or do you acknowledge? Do you say something? I did it today. I was at the Queen Vic Market and I saw a gentleman straight away. He was wearing the big navy blue long raincoat. Said "Go Blues." He didn't hear me. He was too busy looking for a bargain in the market. But yeah, do you react to people in the street when you see someone wearing Carlton gear? Because I do it every time, like all the time. It's great. Hunter, you were going to go as you work across the road and had to go to another location there. You didn't miss out much. Yep. AirPods, it's the case. It's not the actual pods. It's just the case. So the AirPod case is sitting inside. It comes with two pieces, one here and one here. And you just put in the case. And then, yeah, while you're listening to the podcast, or if you are listening on your AirPods, it'll pop up. Hey, Damien. The signing session was great for all the kids. Absolutely. Shannon, hello. Fresh mama. Good to see you. Huss. Got this one right. Marcos. Faz. Jay. Hey, Faz, we actually popped you up on screen last night. We were reflecting on the moment that Cripps got off on the appeal stream, which went for 4 hours and 44 minutes and 14 seconds. Fascinating moment in the history of us. We'll talk about Cripps' 200th. We're going to also talk about people, opposition fans who are trying to discredit and have a crack at Carlton supporters for getting emotionally invested in this game. Fascinating. What up, Jay? Hey, Georgina. Love your work. Thank you. Bugs Bell, you took the liberty of picking what I believe to be our team of the century. Great. That's actually a great video idea. I might do that for a video. But if you want to share, please go through. What up, Maz? In the gym gear with the water bottle. You got the water bottle as well? My sister got one too. Yeah, the water bottle is like 500 mils, perfect for the footy. Fits in your handbag. It's not too big and clunky. So, yeah, good stuff. Need to know if my pods will fit in those. I lost the case. Mine has long stems. Yeah, so these are for the AirPod Pro, the smaller ones, but I've also got the size for the normal AirPods. So you just got to pick the. I'll show you. Got to pick the right case. So if I go here, I'll show you. So you've got different colors. If you're into pink, great. I like the navy. You've got green, got black. The navy's cool. So you got there for your long stem and there for your short ones. So there you go. Yeah, Brian, massive. Who do we think? If we break it down, there's a few names. I think we might go one by one shortly, but there are a few names that are really relevant tonight. I think Motlop is relevant tonight. I think Pito's a relevant conversation just for tonight. There's another one I'm missing. Jack Martin's a test, so that's always a question mark as to what they do there. Gold logo. I think I know her. Brandon, there you go. I'm falling behind the chat. You always say "Go Blues." Yeah, you have to. You must. Got to acknowledge fellow Blue Baggers. Team of this century. Sard, Wiedering, Newman, Simpson, Jamison, Doherty, Campriali, Cripps, Cooter, Walsh, Mackay, Lappin, Kerno, Favola, Betts, Cruiser, Judd, Murphy, Gibbs, Walker, Whitnell, Carazzo. I can't think of what I would change off the top of my head. But it's a great idea. I think I'm gonna do that. Got to acknowledge the family. Hey, Johnny Holden, good to see you. We're gonna play the Patrick Cripps press conference shortly. I want to watch it together. Was the girl you saw with the beanie grey? No, it wasn't grey. It was like, I think it was black with grey trim. Sorry, it was a black beanie with gold trimming, and the logo, the monogram was in gold. She told me her name. She told me her name. Might have been Annie, potentially. Hey, Dione. Yeah, I'm glad. Hey, Ian. Giselle, you going to meet Fev tomorrow night? Is that the event with Harry? Or is that a different event? I was in self-serve with David Rees-Jones, needed help scanning an item, didn't realize him first. Then I'm like, are you David Rees-Jones? And he goes, yes, I was so starstruck. Cripper the GOAT. Get up the Reddit columns of salty fans. Do we go and dive into the Western Bulldogs big footy thread? Do you want to see that? I can get it. I can bring it up and see what the Western Bulldogs fans are saying. I can bring them up. I got some good feedback last week when we were reading through the comments from the opposition. Hey, Elise, definitely some changes for this week's team. Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. Sure. Sure. Ooh. Love your work, Stephen. Lewis, you're due back soon. Absolutely. Sad that my trip's going to be over, but happy to see you and everyone again. Mate, we look forward to seeing you back. Jonathan Delato, ciao. Are the AirPods Pro a better fit than the Gen 2 versions? What do you mean? You mean the longer stem? I've only got the AirPods Pro, to be honest. I don't have the other version. Relevant. The Pido conversation is a relevant conversation. Hewitt is another one too. Wow, I'm really falling behind here. All right, let's get on with the show. Pommy's here. Hello, mate. Should have organized a chat with Bevo. Oh, I would love to talk to Bevo. Okay, I'm going to bring up the Patrick Cripps chat right now. Okay. So the start of this video, there's like a static image as well. Oh yeah, before we start, let's just give it up for the English, for the Poms this morning who got the job done. Are we all in Team England for the final? Is that what we're doing now for Pommy? Because that has to happen. Okay.
Yeah, it's milestones are always good to. It actually makes you reflect. So yeah, it's weird. It's I chatted to the club before. I feel like 100 games, you sort of feel like you're an AFL player. 200 is like a really big milestone. I think to be an AFL player, it's it takes a body of work to get there. So it's 11 years now. So it's something I'm really proud of, and obviously had a lot of support on the way, not only from the club but family and friends. So really looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be an exciting game, but yeah, it's just I feel like I got a lot left in the tank. So it's sort of it's nice to celebrate, but yeah, it's also makes you eager to wanting to keep going.
How satisfying is it to do it at the one club and you come through some really hard times and now you're enjoying a bit of success?
Yeah, it's I think
he is frozen. He will be unfrozen shortly.
There has been some really tough times at the place, and it's nice now to be in a position where when you're trying to drive a culture and get a place where people love to come to work, and also
This is the second week it's happened, by the way, in a row.
a lot of guys working really hard and on their craft, but also really buying into what we are as a team. And that doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to create that with the other leaders and coaches. And now it's just trying to refine that, but also keep that spark and keep guys wanting to come to work and loving coming to work. And then also the competitive juices that, when we get out there on the weekend, play with that edge, but also have a lot of fun out there as well. So I feel like if you watch us play at the moment, you sort of see that within the group.
When you sort of put your finger on the turnaround from midpoint of last year to now,
The question was around putting the finger on the turnaround from the midpoint of last year to now. Am I being mean? But is that a really bad question? I mean, I don't know.
just went into the buy and then all of a sudden it just clicked from there.
It's like the guy. It's like the guy is stuck in July 2023. He woke up, checked the date, and it said the 10th of July, 2023, and just forgot that we've actually lived 12 months.
Yeah, well, sometimes there's a lot of work that goes in before that time, and obviously probably end of 21 at the end of the review was probably a really big shift in us as players, really driving the culture we want, and then obviously coming in and driving really high standards and I suppose a bit of a clean start from a lot of the footy department staff. And so since then, obviously we started 22 with a bang, and we got a lot of confidence, belief out of that. And then obviously we found a few tricky parts in between then, but I feel like adversity makes you learn a lot about yourself, and we learned a lot about ourselves last year as a group. And like you said, the middle part of the year, we sort of got together and really, I suppose, tried to find what we were as a group and what we wanted to value that was completely in our control, and we were able to do that. And then when you start getting results, belief and confidence keeps building, and we feel like from that point, probably this time last year till now, that's continued to build, and now we've got a really clearer feel and a view of what our identity is, and when we don't play to that identity, it's really clear. You're not searching for things you don't know. So that's the most pleasing part. We're in a position now where, like I said before, we've got a lot of guys that work hard and play a really selfless brand of footy. So it's just trying to keep evolving and keep growing in that space.
And looking forward, you've achieved so much. You got the Brownlow, could be a second Charlie this year. Now, what would complete your career?
There's individual stuffs. It's definitely a reward for hard work, but I think you talk to any AFL player,
it is still frozen. It's moments away from unfreezing.
The reward and I suppose fulfillment comes from team success. I know I listened to Scott Penderby talk last year, but he talked about, he's obviously won a lot of individual awards, but the feeling you get from winning a premiership as a group, you can't match that, and that's what every AFL player dreams of doing. So that's the stuff that we're driving, but it's also important. You can sometimes get so focused on your goal and your ambition, which is great to have. You got to dream big, but we're just focused on right now and actually being really present with this moment and actually enjoying the journey. Like you talk about from the midpoint of last year of where we were to now, like we've enjoyed that journey. We've learned a lot about ourselves, and we've been, a lot of us guys have been together for a long time now, and we've grinded through some really dark times. So to be in a position we are now, we really just want to enjoy it and keep leveling up. Still have the ambition and the goals and the dreams, but if we get it right now, then that leads to the next stages.
What have you learned about yourself since you came in, young fella from Northampton, all the way to your 200 games into the big smoke? What have you learned about yourself as a captain and a man?
Thank you, Paul. A great question. That is the level. That's the standard of question that we need to be having at press conferences like this. It's taken us 3 questions or 4 questions to get a proper question.
I've learned a lot about myself. Any 18-year-old coming into a system, you're just in awe of the whole AFL. It's your dream. But you got no idea really who you are and what you're about. So I feel like from 18 to 25, you're really sort of trying to work yourself out and understand yourself. And then as a leader, you sort of grow. I feel like at the start it's more lead by example, the way you play, and then as you get older, you're always trying to get the best out of yourselves, but then how can you get the best out of others around you? And I get a lot of joy helping other guys around me to get the most out of their potential. But most importantly, when you're a leader, you do it because you want to get the most out of the group. And that's something I'll keep doing, and until I retire. And it's something I'll hopefully keep getting better at as well, because you're never a finished product in that space. And I really enjoy it.
Has the Bubba changed your view on how you lead the club, a new addition to the family? Has that changed the view?
It hasn't changed my view how I lead, because I've sort of always been about how can I get the best out of myself to get the best out of others. But it's definitely helped me. I feel like switch off from footy. I really love hanging out with her, and she's given a fair bit back now. She's starting to smile a fair bit. So it's amazing, those little moments that you don't really think about until you have a kid, and then once you have one, it's pretty special. So I'm really enjoying it. She's been great, and Mom's doing a great job as well.
How have you evolved as a player, Patrick, do you reckon, in the last couple of years particularly?
Yeah, it's.
I don't know if you heard that. The question was, how have you evolved as a player in the last couple of years?
It's like anything in life. You're always trying to find ways to get better, and I feel like now I've got a really stable group and a lot of trust in guys that are going to play a high level role. You can expand certain parts of your game, and I feel like I'm trying to develop my outside game a bit more and get on the end of sort of handball receives and use my power a bit more than what I probably did in the past. And but when you play in a team that's played together for a bit now, there's a high level of trust. Guys play a really high standard of role. You don't need to overreach. I'm really clear on my role and what I've got to do for the side, and that's just what I've been doing lately. And also helps when you start winning, and being part of a successful winning environment helps your own form. When you get a lot of guys playing with confidence and belief, I feel like everyone's going well of it.
Which people around the club have had the biggest impact on yourself, do you think?
There's been a lot over the journey.
Question was, which people do you think have had the biggest impact on you?
Some now. I think at the start, Robbie Wiley was a great guy for me at the start. He's obviously a WA man, and I'm still really close with him. Johnny Barker and Tim Clark have probably been, from a line coach point of view, my two biggest impacts on my game. Still really close to both. Obviously, Clarkie's still here. Then you look at what Vossi's done when he's come in. I've got a really strong relationship with him. High level respect and care for each other. And he's been a really good sounding board and a mentor for me. Not only as a coach, but the experience he had as a player and as a leader as well. So, and there's so many other guys. Obviously, the players like Michael Jamison's been huge, Juddy, Murph, and I could name a whole heap. But there's been a lot of guys over the journey, and I think if you listen to any player talk when they wrap up, they always ask, what's the best thing about your time at footy clubs, and they always say relationships. Like, what we do out in the field's awesome. We love doing it, but once that's all said and done, which says everyone's got an end date, it's the memories you make and the relationships you form that you actually really cherish. So, the footy club's been amazing to me, but most importantly, I've met so many good people along the way so far.
Was there a period in your career, even in the last couple of years, where you were trying to do too much on the field, in a sense? You spoke about the trust that you have.
There was a question there. Just, was there a point in his career where he was trying to do a bit too much?
Yeah, I don't think it was trying to do too much. I think it's just sometimes you want the will to win. You want to win. You want to try and lead from the front. Sometimes that might have looked like I was trying to do too much, but it all comes from a place of you just want to get the best out of the group and others around you. So it's really nice to be in the current situation where, like I said before, you look to the guy to the left and the right, and they're going to get their job done, and that takes time. That doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of training, a lot of hard work, being on the same page, and also driving a culture that what we value is important to us.
Can you give us an insight into what you do week to week, because you play such a brutal style of footy to get your body right?
That's a good question. Give us an insight as to what you do week to week, given you play such a brutal style of football.
Keep yourself fresh.
Yeah, it's like you sort of it's just a whole, like, over your career, like I said, you're always trying to get better. So your weeks, you're always trying to evolve, whether it's recovery, your craft, or your body. You're always trying to find ways to get the best out of yourself. But my week's pretty consistent now in terms of what I do. Like the recovery side and the sports science side is at a high level now, and that's really grown the game over the last 20 years. You see a lot of players playing extended careers, which has definitely evolved. And we get access, like, this facility is unbelievable. With social media and media out there, that I suppose the resources out there and the science has never been better. So I play a physical brand, but a lot of the things you do, behind closed doors, in terms of your recovery, what you eat, the mobility side, it's important, and it's more that proactive approach. I love playing, so I want to play as long as I can. So for a long time now, I've had some really good people that specialise in certain areas that have helped me in that space.
You mentioned young you before. What would you have done if you didn't play footy?
Would have probably gone at the farm back then, but we don't have the farm anymore. We sold it a few years ago. But it's a great question. It's funny. Like, I always dreamed of playing AFL, and I just had this ambition to get there. And it's funny. I see little kids now, and I just remember when I was their age, like it was yesterday, and now I'm living my dream, and also I'm in the position, I suppose, to inspire other kids that, other players inspired me when I was a kid. So I don't take that for granted. And, I feel like the way we play as players and the passion we play and the way you play can have a big impact on those you don't actually know. And that's pretty special, I reckon.
What's been your favourite moment as a Carlton player and skipper of why?
Paul Sebastiani. Favourite moment as a Carlton skipper?
Definitely playing in the final series last year was the best. It's, everyone talks about, the individual stuff, it's a reward for hard work, but the team stuff and what you get, even though we didn't achieve the end goal, sometimes you got to celebrate the gains you made and where we came from as a group and where we're going. That finals experience and to win a couple of big finals at the G, even to get into a pre-am was special, and that exposure is going to be really important for us going forward. And once you get a taste for it, you want it so bad. So like I said, we're in the now, so hopefully, as we keep building towards the end of the year, we're in those moments again.
Western Bulldogs midfield was well beaten by Port Adelaide last weekend. Do you expect to get a heat on Saturday between a couple of midfield groups trying to bounce back?
Yeah, it's every team's got great midfielders, and that was no difference for us against Giants on the weekend. They probably got the better of us inside. So yeah, it'll be a fierce battle, but you expect that every week. As competitors, you go in wanting the team's best. That's what you prepare for. So if you don't, then you get smacked between the eyes. So we're looking forward to a great battle. We've got a high level of respect for a lot of their mids, and should be a great game.
Ash Hansen, do you think he'd make a good senior coach if the Eagles may put a call into him at some point?
Thought this question might come. No, he's a great operator. He's very knows the game very well. He's been great for our coaching group. So I'm sure he has ambition down the track, and but knowing him, I'm surely focused on what we're doing. So if he does decide to go down that path, I'd support him 100%.
How was the review after Saturday night? Done the review, and how was it? Considering flying start, but not the result you're after in the end.
Yeah, we actually haven't done it yet. We had a couple of leaders meetings, but no, it's pretty measured. Like we feel like our body of work will really know what makes us a good side, and when you're slightly off, what can happen. But also a lot of credit goes to Giants. They played a really high pressure brand of footy. So it's always both ways to look at it. You always respect what the opposition does to you. But we're also measured in the fact that we didn't play our best footy. Take your lessons, highlight why we were a little bit off, and then you look forward to the next week. But we don't get too dictated to by one result. We're determined to bounce back this week, but it takes a body of work, and we've got a lot of confidence, belief in what our best looks like.
Just a general question, Patrick. You're a Brownlow medalist. Isaac Heaney's up for the tribunal. Nothing specific, but would you like to see players still eligible if they are suspended?
It's a tough question. It's obviously been a rule that's been around for since it started. It's obviously been a rule. It's obviously
nothing specific. Patrick, you're a Brownlow medalist. Isaac Heaney's up for the tribunal. Nothing specific, but
He's asking about the Isaac Heaney.
would you like to see players still eligible if they are suspended?
It's a tough question. It's obviously been a rule that's been around for since it started. I feel like with how the rules, not the rules have changed, but how we're protecting the head and little incidents. I feel like it's definitely a thing that needs to be reviewed at the end of the year, because you'd hate to see someone like Isaac, if he did win it, miss out the chance. So he's had a great year. He's a great player. And I feel like he plays the game the right way. So, that's all I'll say with that one.
You survived, I think it was a 4.5-hour tribunal.
4 hour, 44-minute tribunal.
It's a couple of years ago. What are the emotions you reckon it's going to go through Isaac tonight?
Yeah, it's out of your control in a way. Like, you obviously got to say your part. But, it's obviously his one separate. But I'm sure they'll have a case to present. And, I wish him all the best with it.
And then just a bit left field. But obviously there was a story today about sort of the drugs policy. I think a former player has been in a bit of trouble. His parents were involved too. Do you feel like the AFL, or what would you recommend the AFL do to improve our drugs policy?
Bro, I'm gonna rewind this so we can get that question asked again. Look at the state of it. Look at the state of it.
You obviously got to say your part, but yeah, it's obviously he's one separate, but I'm sure they'll have a case to present, and yeah, I wish him all the best with it.
And then just a bit left field.
He's the way he led it into it, like just a bit left field, like he was really ready for it.
Just a bit left field, but obviously there was a
Cripps knows. He knows what's coming.
Story today about sort of the drug policy. I think a former player has been in a bit of trouble. His parents were involved too. Do you feel like the AFL, or what would you recommend the AFL do to improve our drugs policy?
So for those who can't hear, this journo's asked him, what would you do? What would you recommend the AFL do to improve the drugs policy? What?
I've got no idea, to be honest.
Do you know what I love about Cripps? I love a man that's able to just say, I don't know.
So I think
it's a rare gift.
I'll back them to make the right call, but I feel that's a matter to focus on the end of the year. It's probably the last thing on my mind right now.
How many of your crew are coming
Oh, class.
from WA? And have you ever thought about, I mean,
You're right. What am I doing? What's going on here?
Hey! Jesus.
Let me just finish this off.
I assume you've never thought about coming over, really?
No, I've got an army coming over this week, to be honest. I've got a lot of friends and family, extended family. So, like I said before, I've got some great people in my corner that have been there since I was a young fella. So, I'm really looking forward to the game. Hopefully, we can get a win and I can enjoy the moment with them, and then really thank them for being a part. But I feel like when you've been with a club for a long time and you've been part of sort of building the place from the ground up, hopefully the end goal's there, but I'm really enjoying what we're building here at the moment, and really enjoying the group of lads we've got. Nice. Cheers, everyone. Thanks.
One day, just one day, I would love for Cripps or whoever's up just to sort of look at the journos and just pause and just give them the look, because we'll be watching it here on Teams. Like, the state of some of those questions.
We should have had we should give the players like that sound bite, just the trumpet.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Journalist asks a stupid question and Cripps just pulls his phone out.
How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad our journalists. The hungry question is, how do we fix the drug policy?
It's Cripps's 200th game. Just a left field one, Cripper. How do you think we fix the drug policy? The scary thing is they get paid. That's the scary part. Like, really scary.
I'm pretty sure.
Bro, they get a wage. Bro, their rent's paid to ask those questions.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about the equality of life? There it is. I mean, like, fucking here we are doing this for free.
Sitting around, this kid ass doing this.
Who's the real pair of twats? Well, here we are. Charlie, Canal,
mate.
Jeez, stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
True. I also did some digging. I listened to Tim Clark. He did a little bit with Dwayne Russell on Dwayne's World. And there was actually some updates that we had been asking about for a few players. So Dwayne asked him about Charlie Curnow, Jacob Wiedering, TDK. So Charlie did have a rolled ankle from Tim Clark's mouth. He said he had a little bit of a rolled ankle. It didn't contribute to his ability to jump. He was just defended really well by a great player or great defender. Wiedering was fine. He's had the corky. He's trained all week and he's ready to go. TDK is the same. He trained this week and he's expected to play. So there you go.
Timothy Clark, what a man. We love a bit of Tim Clark.
Yeah. Yeah. I also have 3 sets of highlights that I would kind of like to watch. And it's kind of great that you're here as well, Pommy, because these are highlights from 3 players in the VFL, courtesy of Carlton Blues fans, who does an incredible job. I wanted to watch, and they go for about 2 minutes each. So I thought we could watch their VFL highlights from last week and then sort of raise the discussion about, do they come in, do they not?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Let's for it.
Let's start with, you know what? Let's start with Jesse. I miss watching Jesse play footy. I really miss Jesse.
Well, you see him in one day, 22 hours, mate.
Yeah, I know, but we'll hope so. Let's watch Jesse. Where is he? That's the popular name right now. This is Jesse Motlop's highlights from last week in the VFL.
And the Kangaroos now at Carlton. Finds Motlop in for his first game. Had some injury troubles in 2024.
Keith and Richards with the tools. Gallimberti for the Giants. Way too much hook on that. Now sweeps a hand pass in forward. Carl and Hayes were doing well. Instead, the shot on goal comes from McMahon.
Good mark by Ma. Plays on quickly. An umpire is down. They play on. Cunningham has it edge of the centre square. Motlop leaps early in the navy blue jersey in 2024. 46 metres out. Starts it at the right post. Swings straight through the big sticks. They have the first 2 of the second quarter. Welcome back, Jesse Motlop. Pitnet gets the footy. He was being tackled. Still managed to get boot to ball. Kennedy under it. Drops the footy, so he's direct.
Carl. Kennedy. Leak hit it hard, but as soon as he hit that contest hard, he was wrapped up straight away.
Handballs to White off his right foot. Motlop's in the area. No doubt will be frustrated at his start this year. Hampered by injuries. Tight angle on his right foot. Snaps and goals. Breaks the run of Giants goals. Gets it back to a 1-point game. Jesse Motlop. Classy finish.
Sainz got to the front spot. Brought it down. Motlop got rid of the tackle. Hand pass into the path of Carl, who goes in that direction. McMahon flies. McMahon doesn't hold the mark. Motlop.
You love the
crumbing at the feet of the forwards.
You love the celebration as well before they kick it. Big man things.
Yep. Back in the middle. O'Halloran aids him.
He's there for the Giants. Motlop. Hand passes wide.
Yeah, Hebron has kept McMahon to 2 goals, which is his base level. So he's had a solid game in his 50th, but they've turned it over. Edge of the 50 to seal it. Jesse Motlop. 4th goal of the day. Carlton will beat the Giants. And the turnover in the defensive half cost them. Great finish from Jesse Motlop.
Okay, there's one.
Problem is, though, when you spend your time in VFL, you got to work on your celebrations.
Yeah.
I need more than this.
He looks ready. He looks good.
You would say the obvious change, because he played the Raz role. Like, you saw that there's a few moments you saw him on the ball, so it was like the Raz role. So the logical one for that is delete Ollie, move Cottrell to Ollie, drop Newman back into defence and play him as Raz.
So where does Raz go?
Out.
You said...
So you'd imagine Ollie is one of the changes, because you'd imagine Hewitt comes back. Hewitt and Pitnet.
Yep.
So you'd imagine that the logical change is you play Jesse in Raz's role, and Cottrell just takes that wing, and you move Newman back to defence instead of playing that overlapping halfback.
Totally. I think that's very logical. Let's watch.
But he was sexy.
Well, you've been sort of saying it for the last few weeks. He's kicked a couple, but fourth quarter, not so much there. And then you look at him here, get active in the fourth, kick the game, really icing, sealing play right there.
It's why it made sense when Voss dropped him and didn't play him in the VFL, because he did that with Ollie when Ollie was dropped. Like, they just spent a week doing high performance stuff, not playing.
Yeah.
And it was amazing that the fourth quarter, Motlop looked fitter. So that week off, genius.
Well, when you think about it, mate, Jesse potential. I mean, we haven't seen him all year. He's missed every game this year, which is, I think, no one expected it, but I think hopefully it goes down in the history books of Jesse Motlop's career as a real learning lesson about himself, about his preparation, about how to listen to his body, listening, looking for signs. Sometimes you can get in your own way potentially. You want it so badly.
Well, he was one of three named, wasn't he? At the start of the year, if you remember, it was TDK, Motlop,
Elijah,
who
top three
Voss
pre-season.
singled out as taking the piss.
Yep.
In training. And I think Luca nails it. I think he could be that little pinch hit mid forward. That seems to be the Fantasia role.
Mm-hmm.
A forward that can go up deep, which is what we used to complain about Durden. I think Motlop needs to be near the ball.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Mark Pittenet's game.
I'd love this heat map. Fuck me. You watch this, chat. Get ready. Get ready for the maraud that is Mark Pittenet.
So, yeah.
In the middle of the grounds. Richards on the hit out this time, but Pittenet came away
with this bursting free backs.
It has cleared at the moment.
It's Judd.
Wilson from the kick out. Into
the ruck again against the much more experienced Pittenet. Pittenet did well on that.
This level.
Pittenet to front position. Marchbank couldn't get boot to ball eventually.
Backing his defence up like a filthy man.
The early leaders here at Blacktown. Pittenet with a great tap down.
Look at that. Give him up.
Well.
What is
set foot on this ground, either of them. Pittenet tap down. That was a big bump on Harms. That gave space to the debutant Ollie Batter. He chipped inboard for Pittenet. He'll go into the corridor again.
Cheeky.
Wilson space on Pittenet. Sits it up high. Brown and Grzewski will go to this.
Get out of here.
The space that
look at that. Intercept Mark.
Too shallow, that entry.
And then look at him spread the play here. Look,
Carlton had all the action.
Just hook it to my veins.
They lead by 7 points. Pittenet, the tap, and Pittenet. Run at the footy. Pittenet gets round Richards. Spills it, though.
So big.
He's on the edge of a team that is top 4 at the moment in the AFL.
There's something with GWS umpires as well. Have you noticed every centre bounce is absolutely criminal?
Behind, but then went back to pick it up.
Look at this. Look. Oh!
And now
Ashton.
Moyer.
See that? Look, the little handball.
Worked hard to the left.
Find their goals. They've got multiples from Wardius and McCaffrey today. Who's going to step
It does
up?
have to be said, right, just to put a bit of perspective, Callum Brown wrote this game.
You want to be leader of the law. Margin to 2 straight
So,
kicks now.
I mean, yeah.
Richards in the ruck.
But look, guys, honestly, I wish we had heat maps for the VFL because it would have been spread.
McMahon doesn't hold the mark. Motlop at ground level has snapped the goal. Here is Keith once again. Gets the hair pass away, but Ma picks it off.
Look at him as well, look, ghosting off his man calling for it. Who does he think he is?
Carlton, it's all Carlton here. That's a poor kick.
I did like it though, slotting back. So if you watched last night's team show,
to seal it, Jesse Motlop.
Key defenders are a bastard if they get injured, and I said that's probably one of the advantages of having 2 rucks. You can swing TDK or Pittenet back to play that role. Obviously, if you've only got one, you're not moving Harry down the back, are you? Because it robs Peter to pay Paul. And it was interesting that Pittenet lived behind the ball this week.
Well, I mean, look, if that is your backup ruckman and he's playing that kind of footy in the reserves, great position to be in. No worries. Great position to be in. Okay, let's go. So the question, do we think he's going to come in?
I am team Pittenet. The reason being, I think next week you need him against Jerry. So I think you need a little bit of synergy.
Yep. True. And Lob will probably chop out in the ruck for the Dogs.
Yeah. I mean, he's been playing fullback. I mean, my spies told me this week at the Doggies, a guy that reports on training down there, that Lob played ruck forward.
Okay.
In training. So he said he thought he'll play back, but then will help in the ruck. So that's why I think he's 202 centimeters, Rory Lobb, and looks like Marty McFly's dad. So you've got to really play Pitternet there.
Yep. All right, Walter, mate. I don't have any fucking time for people like you. Not anymore. You're out. Get the fuck out of here, mate. You want to be a little honestly, you want to come here and be a little virgin, like, yeah. Go back to your little dungeon.
Hey, can you imagine giving it large and being called Walter?
Yeah. Imagine sitting here for 45 minutes on an opposition stream and then trying to have a pop. At Pommy.
Yeah, don't teenagers just wank anymore?
Yeah. Anyway, more importantly,
this time?
we're going to watch Cunners.
Ooh, I like this.
I watched this and I was taken aback. So maybe you guys can see what I saw.
He looks really fit as well. Just an FYI on this, really fit, like dangerously fit.
Up the wing, couldn't find a teammate. Stone is taking in a good tackle, still got the kick away, but not in time. Too much that he likes initially. Looking for Lemmy, and that's good body work.
He's the target, nearly reels it in. Nearly picks it up basketball bounce style.
You know who he reminded me of this game? I said it in my VFL rap. Fogarty.
Free kick. Going to be in the back. Carlton take the advantage. Cunningham gives the hand pass.
Spears a pass in. Good mark by Ma. Plays on quickly. An umpire is down. They play on. Cunningham has it edge of the centre square. Motlop leaps early.
But he had some Fogarty defence about him this week as well. He's mental defensively.
Trap by McMahon. Net gets round Richards. Spills it though. Hands come back to Cunningham.
It's the cleanness in tight.
Hayes getting involved. Here's Cunningham.
I don't think we have anyone like him.
Here, Carlton. Carroll
Lynch
did the dummy, did the fake.
No, but I mean, like, I don't think there's anyone like him so clean. I think Lynch is clean, but I think Connors. Look at how he gets out of traffic. He dances.
They'll all want to break in as Carlton.
It's effortless.
Neither Ruckman could get a meaningful tap on that one.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Absolute effortless.
Little 1-2 with Pitnet.
Great call, Brody. It's Pendlebury like it's just effortless.
Body lining up was Durden. Well done by Carlton.
Was. Now Haynes.
Mitch McGovern.
His kick is turned over as well. Cunningham.
McGovern.
Over the top for
He's right. Half smothered, so he'll be called to play on. Comes to Carlton anyway. Cunningham takes a moment. Gets it back. Carl goes again for Cunningham. Might get one more.
Yeah, Sandra will play Cunners centre half back. What could go wrong?
And that's 30 for Hayes. By hands to Cunningham. Get one back.
Cunningham gives to Pitnet.
You know, the problem is now that the team is good.
Look at that. Look at that.
The problem
Terrible
is the team is
handball.
good. Who do you drop for Cunners, though?
Yeah, I know.
Cunningham.
Like, this is a no-brainer 2 years ago.
Look at the little, he just touches it on the ground, like, just.
Yeah. He mate, honestly, he was a class apart last week.
Cunningham is lap as McCaffrey inboard finds him by hand.
It was his defence that turned me on, though, because I don't think people ever give respect to Connor's defence.
Yeah.
And he was just an animal defensively as well. Like it's an interesting conversation because Hewitt, we talked about it last night, Chera kind of plays that Hewitt role defensively. Connor's basically put his name up and said, look, I can tackle, I can get tough ball, but I can also be sexy attacking. It's a real interesting call if he stays fit.
Well, if we had had this conversation last week, I probably would have said I don't think Cunners is in the picture. But again, if he's just performing like that in the VFL, if those are the performances of guys that can't get a game in the VFL, senior players who have plenty of senior experience, that's going to bode well for us.
That's
it's
good
exciting,
news.
man.
Hey, chat, I'm glad I came in. You're all real positive. Mitch McGovern's out and Charlie's on watch. What's Charlie on watch for? Has he not paid his blockbuster return fees?
Yeah. Well, so who said McGovern's out? I saw SEN.
Kane Cons and Jane Gablich and up the baggers. And all that AFL is reporting O'Keefe's in. Wait, I mean, O'Keefe's still injured, so if you're going to trick me, make sure you memorise the injury report.
Yeah. Mitch McGovern. If Mitch McGovern, okay, it's confirmed. It says, yeah, Mitch McGovern is out this week for Carlton, while Charlie Curnow's a watch. Well, Tim Clark said Charlie Curnow was fine. So there's that. Mitch McGovern confirmed as an out.
Who confirmed it? Did Carlton confirm it?
No, they didn't. Kane Corns have apparently confirmed it. So it's not really fully confirmed yet, but it's a pretty close confirmation. Like that's a pretty strong statement that Mitch McGovern is out.
But it is, yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's no surprise, actually. Aidan made the comment. We talked about it in the preview, didn't we? I mean, the review, Terry, didn't we? That and the ratings. He was blatantly injured.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that no bastard has mentioned.
Yeah. No, Jay. He got injured. He got the knock against the Giants. It was probably in the first quarter.
Yeah, I thought it was before Wheatering because he started looking really bad. Like before Wheatering.
Yeah.
And everyone just denied it. You know, the Carlton classic. Like Tim Clark mentioning everyone but Mitch McGovern.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's just make the case for either of those three that we just watched, plus Hewitt. How many? Knowing that
now Mitch is out,
McGovern's
so that opens a door. So Mitch McGovern will be an interesting one because Lewis Young, if you did body of work in the VFL, Lewis Young's ahead of all of them. By
Young?
Flemington.
Okay.
By Flemington. Marchbank defensively has been shocking the last 2 weeks. So that'll be interesting. So let's just say it's Marchbank because he's got the credits in the bank. Motlop 100% in.
For sure, right?
Connors, see Marchbank. See McGovern. See Motlop. It's taken him 3 weeks, so I think he needs another week. Like, this is the first week Connors has blown the game open. Give him another one. And, yeah, Chris, good spot from the VFL. That's one thing we've been talking heavily in the VFL wrap about. Young actually trying to move the ball quicker and be more bold. He's made massive strides, so it'll be interesting. And Pitternet, I like Pitternet in the team. I think this is the week. I think Tim English's form has been poor. So don't give him a chance going one-on-one. Make him work against a big guy and a small guy.
Well, mentally, it's so hard to prepare for a game when you've got polar opposites in ruck style.
Yeah, and I think he's so bad. Like, Young this year has been English this year has been up and down. So his form hasn't been there. So I think it would be a mistake from the Blues to go TDK one-on-one and just rely on TDK to win. Be a dickhead. Make it tough. Make it tough.
Well, Damien has given us an update that has been given on Channel 7. Apparently, these are the teams. Pitto and Marchbank in. McGovern out with obviously what we just realised is the knock, and Fantasia. Wow.
Good
My
spot,
governor.
Damo and D,
Yeah.
and Debbie, the double Ds.
And Theophanis. This is one of my favorite names. Theophanis Patrikios.
So how's that? Because you see, I would spell that Pom, alliterate. I would verbalize that as Theophanis.
Theophanis. You know?
Do I need to? You see, this is what right here. How culturally educate me.
Okay.
I always find, right, when someone uses your accent as taking the piss. So you know, like when I say water, everyone always goes water, and I'm like, well, don't take piss, man. Do you know what I mean? Just say it.
Do you really say water though?
Yeah, water.
I thought that's you like poking a bit of fun at the word.
Oh, actually, I've got something for you, chat. And Terry, give me 5 seconds.
Okay. Is it a glass of water? I genuinely thought this whole time when you said water, you were just having a laugh. Anyway, we'll get back to that. We're going to wait a moment, guys. The final teams will come in from the club and from the AFL website, and we'll have a look. But it looks like those are the changes, unless they've kept a few changes for us in a few minutes. I'm shocked that Motlop can't get in at this point now. But
here you are. Look.
Yeah. What do you got?
So to culturally expand.
Yeah.
Look what I've got.
You got a cannoli.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we can witness the first time.
This is your first cannoli.
First time I put something cylindrical in my mouth. Yeah.
How
Live
is it?
on stream.
What flavour?
Hey, it's near bad, this, is it?
Yeah.
It's all right. An Italian taco, John. Spot on.
Hey, do you want to Italian taco? Hey, do you want to be sick? I did something today.
Oh, fucking go on.
I paid $27 for a toasty today. It was truffle like a truffle toasty.
Oh. Fuck me, Terry. $27 for a toasty? I'd expect a fucking foot rub.
Yeah. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't $27 worth.
Mate, the king himself could have made me a toasty. I ain't paying over $20 for it. It's bread and some freaking melted cheese, man.
Part of getting it was just the fact, just to say, like, as an experience. Like, I bought a $27 toasty.
Jump out of the plane for an experience. It's a fucking toasty. Man. What was in the toasty? Take me through this toasty.
Cheese, truffle. Maybe I can show you a photo. Oh,
cheese and truffle. Get out.
I don't know if you can see this. This is from, I was at the Queen Vic Market. And then...
It fucking looks garbage and all.
That looks terrible. Wait. The teams aren't out just yet. I'm just, you know what? I'm going to airdrop it to my phone, to my laptop, and then we can.
Who cares about teams anyway? I don't care. Chat, just while Terry ruins my life, it is officially confirmed. Mitch McGovern and Alazio Fantasia are out. Caleb Marchbank and Mark Pitonette are in, with the emergencies being Samuel Durden, Jesse Motlop, and George Hewitt. So no Motlop and no Hewitt. And they've lost James O'Donnell and Aaron Norton, and they've brought in Cody Waitman and Caleb Poulter. So obviously the Dogs aren't even bothered about winning anymore.
That's the banter from you.
I'm genuinely shocked you spent 27. Like, it doesn't even fucking look good. That's what's killed me.
it killed me too. But it was just like, it was an experience. Sometimes you jump out of a plane. You ride.
Yeah, but jumping out of the plane's a once in a lifetime thing. You only need a fucking Breville maker to make a toasty. Like, this is available to everyone, Terry.
Yeah, I know. Look, we all have our moments where we do questionable things. And today was that for me. I'm gonna get the photo up. It's loading now.
I got fucking this toasty, honestly, better blow me away.
Yeah.
Like, I better see this toasty now and go, I want a toasty.
Firstly, we're going to look at the teams before we get a look at the toasty. Okay?
I don't care about the teams anymore.
So these are the... Okay. So Sam Durden, emergency. Jesse Motlop, emergency. George Hewitt, emergency. Marchbank. Listen, the fact that Marchbank is a backup now when McGovern is sore, that's nice. And Marchbank played, I feel like we did some reflections. All the good games we played against the Dogs at Marvel, Marchbank was in those teams. So I don't know. I don't mind seeing Marchie back. It's good that he's been playing football at least.
Mate, I agree. I mean, let's be honest, right? I said this in one of my VFL raps. Marchbank isn't the Kemp anymore.
True.
Right, interceptor. He looks better just pure lockdown. So
right.
I don't mind him coming in for McGovern. Right? The one that gets me is they've definitely going with... I wonder, Ollie Holland... Is he going to sub this week and Matty Owies goes where Fogarty does, and Fogarty plays that midfield forward role, which we saw him play a bit last week?
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't mind the act. I mean, I'm just glad Pitternet's in. Shout out Faz. I know you're Pitternet's number one fan.
I'm real happy to see him there as well. Look, Cottrell named on the wing there. Maybe I should go to the AFL website so we can see the team side by side.
I'm eating a cannoli, Dione. First one.
First cannoli.
You know what I'd describe it as? I'd describe it as a sausage roll with cream inside. Sorry to offend all the Italians in there. Genuinely am.
All right. Norton O'Donnell out, Waitman in. There was a bit of talk about that. Umpire's not confirmed just yet. That's okay.
Terry, their forward line's really tall though, right?
Let's just unpack it because that's a myth.
Their forward line's really tall, but they're going to use Bucku Karmis and Rory Lobb to stop Harry Mackay and Charlie Kerner.
So Riley West wouldn't say super tall. Sam Darcy, tall boy, big boy. Waitman, small forward, definition. Jack McRae, wouldn't classify him as tall. Jamara Ugle-Hagan, okay, there's two. And then Lath, who's in the interchange bench. They've got, Lockie McNeil might go through there. Rory Lobb
There's
might
no
swing
one, look, Sam Darcy's a giant, right?
Yeah.
But 1.4 goals this year, so being a Giant's great, but he hasn't torn a game alive. Jamara Ugle-Hagan is the standard size of our back line anyway, so I think Ugle-Hagan, the way he leads to the ball, perfect matchup for Kemp. Kemp will relish that because both of them are aggressive and both are quick. I look at their back line, like
that's
Rory
the story.
Lobb's done okay as a defender, but he's playing some of the best. And Bucku Karmis and Nick Caulfield, people are forgetting this. Nick Caulfield has been used as the like get in front of forwards. Can you imagine Nick Caulfield and Charlie Kerner?
That's got to be the story, right? That respectfully to Nick Caulfield, but second game back, long layoff. I definitely look at what we have more when thinking about this game. I'm not getting sucked into, but they have so-and-so. I mean, they've got great players. I think Bailey Dale might be a job for Chincotta or Adam Treloar. I mean, really good players, really respect what they do. But, I mean, we're talking about wanting to position ourselves for a premiership here. This is about us, not them. You know?
And I think their midfield historically stacks up with ours. Like, I think people forget that. Like, even when we were shit, this is the same midfield that they had. And it was always one of the big, exciting things. So, Cripps versus Bond is the most natural. It's the matchup we've seen every time we've played them. Right? The matchup we've seen every time. You know Liberatore is going to Walsh, right? In the centre when he goes there. That is how it's always happened, how it always will. Chincotta's going to be the interesting one. You'd imagine it's Treloar and Dale, you'd imagine based on last week, Voss goes where he needs to. So that'll be an interesting one. But like, that's where we've got to get him is we've got to get it inside. Like inside, if we can get it deeper, Bucky Carmis and Lobb, and as good as they are as footballers, all respect in the world, Charlie and Harry should be thinking one of us gets double figures this week.
Yeah. Well, just there's another bit of an update here. So McGovern's injured, hip flexor, and they say here on the website is unavailable for selection after being unable to train on Thursday. He's expected to be sidelined for the next 1 to 2 weeks. So it's not just this game. So he'll miss this game. The next game, potentially come back for Port. Next week's a Sunday game against North Melbourne, I believe. And then there's a Friday game, 5-day break against Port Adelaide at Marvel. So that might be when we see McGovern. So now all of a sudden, Marchbank, it's just, one last chance. You know
what? I agree with Aidan as well. I think Kennedy is ahead of Hewitt. And I've been saying it all along. I don't believe you can play Hewitt and Kennedy, and certainly can't play Pitternet in the same team. And I think Kennedy gets it because he can play 2 roles, which Carlton don't have. And I think Pitternet comes in because I think last week, Pitternet in that team would have allowed TDK to fill holes, and we couldn't. We tried to do it. But Cripps, Kennedy in the ruck, it's horrible. Let's be honest. It's not sexy. It's not pretty. I think it's good. Hip flexor's a 60s injury. It's a very vague injury, isn't it? The old hip flexor. Like, sounds like you've made it up. It's the kind of thing that you ring your boss. You just make it panic lie.
Gov had to flex his hip. He had to do it. Couldn't help himself. Yeah.
I mean, really like the thing.
I do too. I love Ollie, and Ollie's going to be great for this club. But I did feel there was only one player that could maybe play his role on that wing. And I personally feel like it is Cots. Look, we're just seeing another layer of pressure. The fact that Jesse Motlop can't get in. So, what's the pathway for Jesse Motlop to get into this team? Which spot is he ultimately coming for?
Well, I mean, I think the Fantasia there says that Owi's game, which we talked about in team ratings, was so good in that 5 minutes that I think he showed, hang about, don't ever put me on the subs bench again.
Yeah.
So I think that's maybe opened it up that they use Fogarty on the ball higher up the ground. Is this Voss's first stage? Because we talked about it on teams last night. This is incredibly fucking hard to keep a balance of the team and add a player. So you're waiting for a player to be really shit or get injured now.
Yeah.
And I think the system is the system. So I think the priority number one is TDK Pitternet. I know people might disagree, but I think that you saw it against GWS when Cripps went into the ruck. There was no physicality in that middle. So I think Voss's first stage is get 2 players rucking, and let's try and get this working. I think Motlop's hoping Williams has a stinker.
Yeah, right. I guess that's just the nature of this team. I mean, Cunners as well. He was excellent, but there's players ahead of them.
Yeah, interesting. Cottrell's named on the right,
Right.
Which I know it never tells you it, but it is interesting that Cow and Sard are one row, Newman and Kemp are the other duo. Interesting, Akers has flipped there. So I would imagine that means Newman can still go advanced. And on the other wing, genuinely what they do is they have Chincotta defending someone, Sard being more aggressive, and it allows that winger to try and get in more advanced positions, which is Cottrell. So I would say Cunners is one to watch. Cunners and Motlop are one to watch because he pinch hit on the wing and Motlop plays that Orazio role. Would be very interesting what happens with Ollie this week, because if suddenly that works on the right wing with Cottrell and Blake plays the more defensive role, suddenly you are looking at Ollie and going, you might be in jeopardy here, because if Cunners can spurt up that wing, so can Jesse, we might have an issue there. So that could be an interesting one.
Strong. Do you know when the VFL are playing?
Do you remember?
Do you remember?
I will tell you now.
September.
Let me go POM calendar. Sunday, 12 o'clock.
Sunday, 12 o'clock. At where?
At the Mission Whitton Oval.
That sucks. Okay.
For those asking why Heaney's named in the Sydney team, you will remember that Carlton named Cripps in the team. So the rules supersede the ban. So they have to be named. If they didn't name him, he would be ineligible unless he was on the emergency. So it has to be from that 28 players. So that's why.
And the Swans are appealing. They're doing what we did with Cripps last year. They're going all the way. They're arguing that an error in law was made in the determination and I think in also the decision or the grading, an error in law was made. So good luck to Sydney.
Okay, it looks like Sam Wicks will be the replacement as well with the way they've named their team sheet. It looks like they've said if he's dead, Sam Wicks comes in.
Yeah. Now this was the truffle toasty.
$27, man. This is everything that's wrong with the world here. Like, not Terry buying it. The fact you can buy this for $27. Like, who's the company that made that?
It's called Ripe. It's a cheese place inside the Queen Vic Market. So what happens is that toasty goes on top of like a scale, and then they just shave the truffle on top of.
Let's be honest. Like, fuck me. What's wrong with cheese and ham?
I mean, the triple cheese toasty was like $13. I don't know. I saw it as an experience, like a one-time only. I was like, it can't be that good.
I know truffles are like, a delicacy, but like in my time in golf, I've tried truffles. I've tried fucking caviar. Honestly, no one actually fucking likes it. It's just literally what posh people say because poor people are eating fucking plastic cheese. Like, if we're honest.
I love me some truffle oil. Yeah. I'm being grilled hard in the toasty. Yeah. I mean, look, you can't.
He's got rugs on his wall. Somebody stop him. Somebody stop him, chat. You know what that tells me, chat, right? I make, honestly, just quietly, Northerners, comfort food, it's our thing. I make the best toasties probably in the history of humanity. I'd back my toasty. If we can get away with charging $27 for something that costs $3 max to make, we're in the wrong business, chat. Yeah. Like, let's start Pom's Toasties. Let's become millionaires.
How can a BA pin cost less than a Sanger? I mean, I'm going to need some BA pins going, eh?
We should do a video. That should be an off-season video. Pom and Terry try each other's delicacies, and I'll go down with you to Ripe. We'll sit there and we'll fucking eat a truffle cheese toasty, and I'll just give it a review.
And then you can give me some traditional Northerner food. What is traditional?
Yeah, I'll just take you and get a fucking bacon sandwich for fucking $2 and be like, mate, this will blow your mind.
Hey, I love simple. I'm a simple man. I just, I'm a sucker for an experience. I am. You got to live.
John
life.
Holden, he's changed, bro. Fucking 1 minute he's in the Northern Burbs, rugs on the walls, mirrors on ceilings, 27 buck toasties, mate. It's like MTV Cribs.
Yeah. Hey, Lee Fisher, he's going to umpire us this week.
Does he like a cheese toasty as well?
I think so. Where he was the former St Kilda player we were talking about the other night.
That has to be like a new insult. I'm bringing that insult in for the umpires. Well, this guy here, he fucking likes truffle toasties.
Yeah.
Was it nice though, Terry? Let's be honest. Like, let's get down to the 2-1-0.
Was it nice?
Was it worth more than a normal toasty?
No. It was probably worth. Hey, you're in the city, Queen Vic Market. Like, it was probably worth $16, $15. I understand how they price these things. It was not worth $27. What I should have done was, so what I started off with was the spicy lamb and cheese gözleme from the Turkish place with the burekis. So good. And then
I understood 3 words, and 2 of them were so good. Just say that again. What's that?
So gözleme it's like a Turkish soft pastry with like filling in the middle. Delicious. Wait, let me maybe Google this thing.
Fucking hell, I thought I'd impressed you all by buying a cannoli. Now I've got to go and get a gözleme.
Here. Wait, I just want to make sure that now that I've Googled it, nothing weird comes up. Gözleme. It's like a flat pita. Let's kind of look like gözleme. Queen Vic Market. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Something like this. From this place here. Delicious. Delicious. I used to go there before work. Gözleme. So I got that. Kind of looks like that.
Oh, so is it like a pita with it's like a pita toasty?
Kind of, yeah. Kind of.
I feel like I offend every culture.
Sorry, it's not pastry. You're right. It's bread.
It's a calzone, Petra. That's why I was trying to think of something more refined than pita bread.
Like a savoury calzone. Calzone, yeah. Yeah.
That does look nice.
So I got that, and then I just did a lap, and I'm like, wow, $27 truffle toasty, like, may as well. But never again.
Okay. Next teams, I'm going to go out and get a gözleme. This can be the new thing. Streams educating Pom that there is food that isn't gravy.
Yeah. Maybe I should start bantering the chat. Like I banter you, like, hey Pom, hey mate, what are you doing? Oh, I just got out of a 2-hour float tank.
Dear Terry, I wouldn't change you for the world, mate. You do you. Just because I like the simple things in life.
Hey, Derek. Hey, guys, Derek is Mr. Cabinets. What's happened to our team show? Look, it's become a cultural experience. We're just, expanding our horizons. Eddie Haddad, the spicy lamb, mate, it was unreal. I should have just stuck to that.
Spicy lamb. Oh,
spicy lamb and cheese.
You see, this is all respect to Turkey. Don't take this the wrong way, but I associate food with moments in my life. So Turkish food reminds me of getting pissed at uni because you live off doner kebabs. So it's like a homely, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, a spicy lamb gözleme sounds slaps. I'm ready.
Yeah. There's a video of me somewhere online, probably from 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. And they had like a halal snack pack. And I was trying to show the camera. It's like just eating a nice halal snack pack. And the thing just falls.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, the depression in your face. There's nothing worse than dropping your food.
He's dropped his HSP.
Oh, that is honestly one of the worst feelings in the fucking world when you drop your food when you've had a beer. I'd rather lose a girlfriend. Honestly, they hurt more. I remember every pizza I've dropped.
Nothing hurts worse than dropped food, especially when you really were waiting for it.
Yeah. What culture's pommy brimming? Well, I mean, like our food is proper food. Like, do you know what I mean? Cheesy chips.
Oh, yeah. Gravy.
Yeah. Big. Everything's got great. Honestly, I'm telling you now, and I will die on this hill. Yorkshire puddings and a good onion gravy, unbeaten. Like me and Paul had this argument on a stream, if you remember, chat, when he tried to tell me that the tomato sauce Italians use is the ultimate food, and I was like, nah, gravy, bro. Gravy wins.
You mean this?
Beans on toast, mate.
Yorkshire pudding?
Oh, look at that. That is literally sat there, right, and saying, fuck you. Literally, that's what it does. Slobber, spot on. Right? It is literally, that's the equivalent of VBs and Siggies.
Where do you get a Yorkshire pudding in Melbourne?
My house. Because they're absolutely shite everywhere else. Gav, spot on, as Jamie Vardy says, what's your favourite food? English food. And he said chicken tikka masala. Spot on, mate. Like, because English curry is different. The Indians looked after us and made... I never forget, I lived in India for 6 months, right? And I made some really good Indian mates. And I said to him, why is your curry not like our curry back home in Indian restaurants? And he literally said, because Australians have got the palate of a dead cow. So offended. Honestly, these are brilliant, right? I'm telling you now. Fuck me, right? A Yorkshire pudding, brilliant with gravy, brilliant with roast beef. But there's something else they can do. Cold in the morning, clotted cream and treacle, change your life.
Treacle? Like...
Yeah, lasagna can't do that, can it? Lasagna can't fucking go sweet and savoury. Ours can.
What is a treacle?
What's treacle?
Yeah.
What's treacle? So treacle's like a caramel syrupy sauce. It's made with black molasses. Look at it.
Like this?
Just look at treacle syrup. No, treacle syrup. Look at this stuff here. Look at that. Fucking, it makes maple syrup look like a fucking dribble. That looks at maple syrup and says, "Come at me, and I'll right hook you."
Yeah, right. Hey, I'm down. I'm down to try all this. This is great.
I'm telling you, Yorkshire puddings, game changing. Like another fucking level.
I believe it. I was about to say Bryn Teagle and try and make a joke out of it, but yeah.
Oh, mate, Yorkshire puddings, I'm telling you, king of the mountain. Mm-hmm. Yorkshire puddings are just like that. We are it.
Yep. If you're joining us late, we've gone off track a little bit. If you're not sure about the teams, here they are one more time. So Mitch McGovern's out for 1 to 2 weeks with a hip flexor injury. We saw it last week. He was a bit sore early in that game. So Caleb Marchbank comes in for Mitch McGovern. Orazio Fantasia has been omitted. And Mark Pitternet has come in after 26 possessions and 33 hitouts in the VFL. We have still got Jesse Motlop, George Hewitt, Sam Durden as emergencies. We've got Dave Cunningham playing good footy in the VFL as well. So there's pressure on all spots right now. The big change I think we see on the field, I mean, the way the team's named doesn't necessarily mean how it's going to completely come out on Saturday, but Cottrell named on the wing where Ollie usually gets named. So interesting there.
That team, to me, in my opinion, looks as balanced as it was 2-3 weeks ago. I did feel last week when we did teams it looked good, but it didn't quite make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think with Pitternet there, it answers all the questions. Like, because I want to see it. I think that midfield to me is balanced and sexy. It can go attacking, it can go defensive. Pitternet there, if the wheels come off. And you know what I do like, and we mentioned this on Teams last night, I think people forget Pitternet plays 60% of the game. And we have never seen what you see Fremantle do quite a bit with Darcy, and Adelaide have done it with Riley O'Brien. If in doubt, take them off at 3/4 time and bring on a smaller player once you've got the ascendancy.
True.
So I don't mind, say, if Ollie Hollands was the sub here, 3/4 time, you make that change.
Just looking at this again, I mean, I'm just trying to picture it. We spoke about Pitto, those VFL highlights that we watched. He floated behind the ball. Let's just say, for argument's sake, he does that and Tom rests forward. We're already looking at a bit of a mismatch with Harry and Charlie with the Dogs defenders. You add Tom De Koning in there. Which of these Western Bulldogs defenders would need to cover for Tom De Koning in the event that Tom floats forward?
Well, you see, this is why I like the two rucks. I think Lob, the perfect chance here now is Lob, when he goes to ruck, which he will do based on this system, TDK follows him forward. Make their biggest defender have to deal with Lob at all times. And then Buku Karmis, I'm not going to disrespect Karmis because I'm a big fan, but
yeah.
Karmis is gone to the Brodie Kemp school of defending. He likes to attack the ball, right? And that's why they played Kemp forward, if you remember, because of that natural gift. So I feel like forward, you want Kerno on him as much as you can, and say, come on, come and play with us. And then Harry, he's a problem for them because who did they take then? Because Caulfield, you saw their breakdown last week. Go back and watch the Port game. They struggled with their players, the backline. The backline was at 6s and 7s. And Port's forward line, tall-wise, is Mickey Mouse compared to ours.
Yeah, they're a bit less experienced too. We've got some solid experience. No, I'm excited. Man, we need footy. We need to get back to the footy. We need to get back to watching Carlton play. We've got only one more interstate trip for the rest of the season. Otherwise, we're in Melbourne for the rest of the year, which is great. It's round 18. Bring it home. The run really starts. It starts now. The home stretch. It starts literally this week.
Mate, I agree with you. And I think Albert makes an interesting point. The Pomspiracy in me. Sam Durden being the first emergency note made.
Ooh.
I think that could be that. I think Wheaton will be fine, to be honest. But I do think that does say to me someone's not so fit. But Aidan, I agree as well. The midfield battle is always interesting, but I don't think Carlton lost the midfield battle last week. I thought last week it went too defensive, and I think Pitternet there, they have to get out of his way. I think the midfield, it was a rare occurrence last week, which saw everything go wrong. I like how aggressive this is this week. I'm confident in this. Doggies are no mugs, but our backline should be fine against their forwards. And it's their back, the big question mark here, isn't it? Look at the teams. Not bigging Carlton up and disrespecting them. If I was supporting Dogs right now with Taylor Duray, Buku Karmis, Caulfield, Dale, Lobb, Bramble, and you told me my opposition was Kerno, Williams, Fogarty, De Koning, Mackay, Chincotta, I'd be debating going back to soccer.
Yeah.
Because that's tough. That matchup there, mental.
Play out the game. How do you see it playing out? Let's put some predictions in. Give us a storyline. Those of you watching at home, give us a bit of a storyline about the game. And how do you see it playing out?
What are you burning?
Yorkshire pudding.
No, Mrs. P doesn't cook Yorkshire puddings because it's a divorceable offence. If they're bad. Right, let's have a look. Well, I mean, the big thing here, I think, is you look at the Dogs matches in stoppage and clearance. So the midfield battle's huge, but the disparity from scores from turnover and defensive half are all advantage Carlton. So that's why I think Cripps Pitternet comes in. I think stop them early entries and it's game over. It's game over for the Blues. So that's going to be the key battleground, stopping them early entries. And the Blues want to get them launches as quickly as possible. That backline is a perfect backline for the Blues because it's go back to David Teague. It's death by numbers. Inside 50 count. You win the inside 50 count this week, Blues win by a canter.
King Cripps Day. Oh, a 72-point win.
Fucking hell, Lou. If that happens, I might be naked.
Fast start. Hold a 30-point lead. Oof. Clearance goal, repeat the entire night like Adelaide last year.
I love that zonked.
Burnt toasty.
Imagine if Mrs. Pom has made truffle cheese toasties.
Paid, it's like, an $85 sandwich has become a $27 toasty. Oh, shit. I knew there was something about Pito coming in tonight all along, 27.
It's a great point, that, Dabs.
Mm-hmm. Crip off the ground. Charlie to kick 6. Remind some people how good he is. Cripper to have 40 disposals and kick himself a goal as well. Wow, I'm confident. G up. Love that, mate. Take a 5-point win, Damien. I think Charlie will respond. Yep. Deb, up and about. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see.
We just needed to talk about Yorkshire puddings and fucking $27 toasties to get you up and about.
Love that from Deb. Absolutely love it. Need to continue our spread of goal kickers. Unpredictable. Choose the best option going inside 50. Yeah, I'm torn between thinking Charlie will kick 8 and we'll have double-digit goal kickers again.
Well, I mean, this is a side as well. Since their defensive crisis, I think people forget. But 2 warnings are for them is that they've hemorrhaged goals from the forward half naturally, but they've also struggled to stop teams slingshotting out the back half of the ground. So this is a real game here where the Blues just need to break even in the middle. If they can break, and let's be honest, no disrespect to the Dogs. Even when we were shit, we did that. We're a lot different.
Sorry, I'm just reading some of the Western Bulldogs fans' response on Twitter to the teams being in. So on the official Western Bulldogs post, one of them says, "Great, we're probably going to see one, if not both, of Buku and Caulfield being made to play on Kerno and Mackay. What type of coaching and tactics is that? Get this fraud out." Staggering selections. Why are McNeil and Poulter getting a game over Riley Garcia? Why is Keith an emergency when we are lacking key defenders?
That's a great point from Jack there.
That is a great point, to be fair. They've actually got someone with the tagline Felino. It's not Lou Felino. All right, drop the real lineup.
My favorite is the hidden one because in any post, if you ever just go show spam, you know there's a doozy and it's good. This one, Terry, look, control. We are fucked. You always know it's a good one when it says hidden.
I want to give Jack Powell that is a question of selection grounded in evidence. Why is Keith an emergency when we are lacking key defenders? It's a great point.
Do you know how? But you know what I'll say is, like, Jack makes a great point. But I mean, I do know Keith has been struggling. So I mean, this probably it's a stupid call, but I would say it's probably protecting long term. Like if Keith comes in, he aggravates an injury. You're gonna have Buku Karmis and Rory Lobb as your key defenders all year. Like this is that case of why drop McGovern now? It's probably McGovern could probably play, but would you want him to completely be out hurt all year just for the sake of a Dogs game? I think the Dogs maybe see that. Hopefully we can contain the Blues because it says to me they're going midfield heavy. Like, you look at that team selection. I've done my preview a bit late, but now looking at it, that screams to me, we're going to beat Carlton around the middle and we're going to lock the ball in.
So let's play devil's advocate, right? Based on our team selection. I mean, it all looks great. Harry, Charlie, the Dogs defenders. But what are the biggest risks for us this week?
I think it's doing what I think GWS, it was my warning in the pre-game of how they had to win. And it's the model to beat Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
Get us kicking long out the back half of the ground and getting us not taking the corridor run and trying to slow us right down with our ball movement. And their team game plan there is that. Like, they've brought players in there. Caleb Poulter will probably be the sub, which means Joel Fraser will play. So they've got that outside run and he's not shy of a tackle. Cody Waitman's a beast at what he does as well. Real goal opportunist. And then they've got Riley West there and Vandermeer to be there like Fogarty's. They're looking to get the ball in, slow it down, lock us in, bog Carlton down, heavy maintenance. That's the risk. If the Blues start sitting back and falling for that trap, and we saw what happened. Carlton went real defensive. They started to drop their lines. We need to go the opposite way, and Marvel's the game to do it because it's perfect conditions. You fight fire with fire, you go further up the ground.
Okay.
And you say, come on, kick over us. And that's what we didn't do last week. So that's our weakness, buying into their game plan. That is Carlton's weakness this year. We fall for it.
Jeremy, I don't know what you've done, but your $27 sandwich has just shown up on my Instagram feed. That's scary. When am I going to start wearing the nose strips live? You mean the ones that force you to breathe from your mouth? Or which ones?
Is that like the nichest backhand there from Slobod? Trying to work if he's been mean or it's just an inside joke.
Nah, I've actually seen the real Robbo, evidently and funnily enough and ironically enough, in a laneway in the city years ago, having a dart. It was great. And I told him that I loved his article, The Tackle, while he had a dart in his hand. It was great.
Did he enjoy that?
Yeah, sure he did. Just a fun fact.
I'm looking forward to this game, Taz. Like, I think this game here is this is the game. This is the game here where the Blues should be looking at pulling this game apart. Because they learned a lesson last week. Fail to prepare to fail.
Absolutely. A reminder, stay focused, stay humble, keep your eyes on the prize. We haven't done anything yet. We haven't achieved anything yet. We've had a good season up until this point, but we've still got to keep going. So that'll be us for tonight. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Pommy, thanks for joining. That was fun. Talked about the teams, talked about food, team selection.
I think this is the best show. Like, honestly, I'm telling you, it's like fuck football. Let's just analyze life. It's way better.
So much better when we're not talking about footy at times.
Me and Terry should have our own Joe Rogan podcast, shouldn't we? Off season, just you and me. We get a guest on. You can be like, can you pull that up, Pommy?
I reckon I can wind the chat up as much as I wind you up with some of the things that I do.
I just think you and me just sitting there and Terry just telling me what he's done in the off season. And me reacting instead of fucking it just being a private phone call. It's the ultimate TV.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to see. I'm going, fuck off.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So anyway, that's that. Don't forget the bashop.com for all your Blue Abroad themed items. Did I show you this?
The AirPods?
Not the actual AirPods, yeah. It's just the case.
Yeah, I did, because I made that comment when Slobbo, bless him, asked do they fit something, and you were like, I don't do second generation technology.
True. All right, guys. Have a good night. Go Blues.
Go Blues.